Parenting inevitably involves errors, and certain missteps can haunt one indefinitely. Even the monarch of England has not been exempt from such human foibles. As the saying goes, hindsight provides perfect vision, and it's not unusual for parents to reevaluate specific instances or choices with fresh insight, wishing they had acted differently for their children's well-being. The same holds true for members of the royal family. In the case of King Charles III, there exists a decision that continues to weigh heavily on his conscience, a decision he made during the youth of his sons, Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and William, the Prince of Wales. Christopher Anderson, the author of the recently published book, The King, The Life of Charles III, sheds light on Charles's enduring remorse. According to Anderson, King Charles deeply regrets the choice he made to have William and Harry walk behind Princess Diana's coffin during her tragic car crash funeral procession in 1997. This poignant event occurred when the two princes were just 12 and 15 years old, respectively. Anderson asserts that this particular decision, involving the participation of Charles and Diana's children in such a mournful procession, remains a haunting memory for the king, likely persisting to the present day. Delving into historical records, we find that the tragedy surrounding Princess Diana's death in 1997 was a pivotal moment for the British royal family. The loss of the beloved princess was met with profound grief from the public, and the royal family itself was navigating uncharted emotional territory. King Charles, as the father of Diana's two sons, was faced with a complex and heart-wrenching decision regarding their involvement in their mother's funeral. The decision to have young William and Harry walk behind their mother's coffin was a choice that drew significant attention and debate. On one hand, it reflected a desire to honor their mother's memory and pay respects to the princess who had captivated the world. On the other hand, it exposed the young princes to an emotionally charged and highly public event, one that was undoubtedly difficult for them to comprehend and process at their tender ages. In retrospect, many have questioned the wisdom of this decision, with some suggesting that it may have placed an undue emotional burden on the grieving princes. King Charles's regret regarding this choice underscores the complexity of parenting under such extraordinary circumstances. It serves as a poignant reminder of the challenges and difficult decisions that even members of the royal family must grapple with in their roles as parents. Why King Charles regrets this decision? During the time of Princess Diana's funeral, the decision for William and Harry to walk behind their mother's casket as it made its way through London was not solely Charles's responsibility. Palace officials, and even the boys' uncle, the Earl of Spencer, exerted pressure on them to participate. Christopher Anderson, the author of The King, The Life of Charles III, has revealed that the Earl of Spencer himself has expressed remorse for persuading his nephews to partake in this public event. Nonetheless, as their father, Charles recognizes his role in subjecting William and Harry to this emotionally taxing experience. According to Anderson, he comprehends that, to some extent, he bears responsibility for their ordeal. This sense of culpability likely stems from the fact that, as adults, both William and Harry have openly discussed the trauma and profound impact of that distressing experience during their youth. This lends a mature perspective through which their family can now empathize with and comprehend the trials endured by the young princes. The involvement of palace officials and the Earl of Spencer underscores the complexities of this decision. On one hand, there was a desire to pay tribute to Diana and allow the world to mourn her passing. On the other hand, the impact on two young boys who had just lost their mother, weighed heavily on those involved in the decision-making process. Harry remembers, "When my mom was taken away from me at the age of 12, just before my 13th birthday, I didn't want the life." What Harry has said about the experience. In the spring of 2021, Prince Harry participated in an interview as part of the Apple TV Plus documentary titled The Me You Can't See. During this candid interview, he openly discussed his memories of walking behind his mother's coffin during her funeral. Prince Harry shared his recollection of a particularly poignant moment during the procession. The sound of the horses' hooves echoing along the mall, the iconic red brick road. At that juncture, both he and his brother, William, were in a state of shock. Prince Harry described feeling as though he had become detached from his own body, merely going through the motions of what was expected of him, while suppressing the overwhelming emotions that engulfed those around him. This interview provided a rare glimpse into the surreal experience of a 12-year-old boy attempting to maintain composure in the face of an immense tragedy. As throngs of mourners surrounded him, their tears flowing, Prince Harry recounted his thoughts at that moment, reflecting on the fact that this was his mother. Yet so many of those grieving had never even had the opportunity to meet her. Looking back at this event in 1997, we realize the profound impact of Princess Diana's sudden passing. Her death sent shockwaves not only through the royal family, but also across the globe, as people from all walks of life mourned her loss. For her two young sons, William and Harry, the experience of walking behind their mother's casket became an enduring memory etched into their minds. How this affected Harry? In that same interview on Apple TV Plus, Prince Harry openly conveyed that following his mother's tragic demise, he grappled with an overwhelming urge to avoid dwelling on her memory. Despite his deep grief and anger, he felt powerless to bring her back to life. Harry disclosed that no one within his family or immediate surroundings engaged in conversations about her passing, leading him to adopt a strategy of avoidance and emotional suppression. He articulated his thought process at the time, stating, "I don't want to think about her, because if I think about her, then it's going to bring up the fact that I can't bring her back, and it's just going to make me sad. What's the point in thinking about something sad? What's the point of thinking about someone that you've lost and you're never going to get back again? And I just decided not to talk about it." Consequently, Prince Harry decided to refrain from discussing his mother's death as a coping mechanism. However, as an adult, Prince Harry now recognizes the therapeutic value of addressing his feelings and memories. He has come to believe that discussing these painful emotions is the only means to process them in a healthy manner. He conveyed, "Family members have said just play the game and your life will be easier. But I've got a hell of a lot of my mum in me. The only way to free yourself and break out, it's to tell the truth." Princess Diana's passing had a profound impact on her sons, who were thrust into the public eye at a young age. The reluctance to openly discuss her death reflects the challenges and expectations faced by members of the royal family, including the suppression of personal emotions for the sake of tradition and decorum. Prince Harry's revelation highlights the internal struggle he faced in reconciling his personal grief with his public role. It underscores the evolving perspectives of the younger generation of royals, who seek a more open and honest approach to dealing with their emotions and mental health. What do you think about King Charles's past actions towards William and Harry? Let us know what you think by commenting below. Share and subscribe to update interesting news about members of the royal family. Goodbye, and see you again in the next videos.